And we're live. There we go. What's
What up,
going
ladies and
on?
gents?
I was about to say the Facebook,
Tuesday.
but also the YouTube and the Periscope and the Twitch. So
Well-
we're available live on all these different platforms.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business, on social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business
Bros.
What's going on,
Ladies-
broski? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Dude, it is a short week for us this week.
It is a short week. It is a crazy week. It is a busy week. I am packing all day today. Been moving stuff to the new apartment. Right now, Vanessa's over here. She's packing up all the kitchen stuff, cleaning up, getting everything ready to go. We got our friends, our awesome friends over at Esteemed Movers coming to help us out tomorrow morning. Gonna move all
Kevin
the
and
furniture,
Sharon?
all the big stuff. Yep, Kevin and Sharon. Yep, setting it all up, getting us going. And yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast. We're looking forward to the new place.
Not just that, dude. This Friday, we kick off at what time?
At 8 a.m.
8 a.m. We're going to post, by the way. We're going to
yeah.
post.
We should
schedule.
probably like StreamYard some of this. Like, I'm just
I
thinking
don't know
like
about StreamYarding, but we'll definitely hop on some lives every now and
we'll
again
do
on Friday.
something.
We'll
We
do
gotta
something.
Friday,
So-
Saturday, and Sunday. Oh,
It
wait,
is
what
what?
the heck are we talking about?
Marvel Movie Madness.
Oh, Madness. I like it.
Marvel
Marvel
Movie
Movie
Madness.
I
That's
was
what's
just
gonna
going
happen.
marathon, but yeah, I dig it. Marvel Movie Madness.
That's what's going to happen this weekend, guys. So 4th of July, I also heard there's going to be no fireworks in the Bay this year.
That's okay, because there's still going to be a snap.
Oh, snap. Oh, Thanos snap.
We'll get plenty of Thor lightning, and we'll get plenty of Stark rockets and Iron Man explosions. So we're gonna have our own fireworks.
All out of the Bose soundbar, but not quite the bombs in the Bay. So well,
Not quite. But
that's that is a little sad,
it
unfortunately.
definitely
but-
is.
But anyways, dude, man, it's been one heck of a week so far already, dude.
And I
we-
just want to like let the audience know that we are technically 9 minutes late, which, considering the fact that we don't have a guest on today, we wouldn't be, except that the business bro was a guest on another podcast. You're just coming from another podcast.
literally finished one, hop on this one, dude. Like
I love it.
Dude, okay, so just to recap, today is June 30th. That was the last one that I had scheduled. I
of Q2.
completed 27 podcasts. So the goal was to
Nice.
do 50 podcasts, to get it to be a guest on 50 podcasts. I still have some scheduled that are going into July. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep meeting the new podcasts and getting out there. But the goal was to do 50. And it's like it's like we talk about a lot. And I was telling Mike and Ryan on the Convention Not podcast I was just on a little while ago. Perfect is the enemy of done. That's a Ryan Holiday line. Perfect is the enemy of done. And I was trying to go for 50. I didn't get to 50. I got to 27. 27 is not bad. That's 27 podcasts that I have never been on before, where we pulled, I was really able to really fine tune my messaging in learning about how can I present this whole podcast story to other people. And it really did start when COVID hit. When COVID hit, I focused my attention on what is our process? What is it that we do on a regular basis? What kind of equipment do we use? How can I really lay out the power of podcasting so that somebody else can replicate it, so that it's systemizable, so that anybody else can do it? And it's been a work in progress. I mean, I wrote The Power of Podcasting. So we have an ebook. I created a course. There's a bunch of video content in there. There's a lot of training stuff on there. There's a lot of information in the Power of Podcasting course, but it just wasn't simple enough yet. And so I still was working on trying to simplify the process, because I want it to be so easy that even a caveman can do it. So
we don't have a caveman clip, but if we did,
That's where we would play it. So, so we've been fine tuning it. And with COVID, a lot of things got pushed in fast forward with the technological advancements.
Yeah.
Things like we started to do Zoom calls more often.
Mhm, mhm.
We got into StreamYard. I got introduced to a bunch of other platforms. And now I have basically 3 platforms that we're using that help us really streamline the process so that you can put together a podcast that is professionally produced, that is fully branded, just like you see on the show here today. There are very few podcasts out there that have custom intros, custom outros, that have segments built into them, that have branding that's set in place. We are for the most part like the Ferrari of live podcasts. Like there's no other podcast doing these types of things, and we want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity to do the same type of podcasting. I was speaking to somebody this week because I've been doing more and more sales calls for this whole podcast thing. And I was talking to somebody this week, and they were telling me how they want to be able to talk to CEOs of these major companies that they work with, but they didn't want to have a podcast that was kind of, like, I guess, small game, right? They wanted something that was more professional, something that had a spark, a sizzle to it. And that kind of really got my, juices flowing. I was super excited because I'm like, this is exactly why you want to speak to us. Because, look at our show, check out what we're doing. This is how we do things. And we want to be able to share with you guys what it is that we're doing. So, 502 podcasts, right? Not too shabby. So, Kevin, shout out to Kevin here on the show. Great job with this, guys. Love that you're helping others replicate your success. And that's really
the idea.
That's really the key. So the secret to prospecting is what today's topic is. And it really
and you know what? He also gave you another shout out. Look at that. 50 podcasts, 27 out of 50. Not too shabby.
Right? Not too shabby. That's right. That's right. It's
Appreciate
the way it
you,
is,
Kevin.
right? Thanks, Kevin. So the secrets to prospecting. So I've been having this conversation on a couple podcasts that I've been on. Like I said, every time you get out and speak in public, whether it's on a podcast or on a stage, you're really fine tuning your messaging. And as in doing so, the secrets to prospecting, you really have to break down what prospecting is and how you were doing it traditionally. So traditionally, a conversation would go something like this. It would be like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I was hoping that we can grab a cup of coffee. During this time, I want to share with you my product or service that I'm selling. Hopefully, by the end of this cup of coffee, I've said some fancy things that'll convince you to give me some money and buy my product or service at the end. Are you willing to sit down and talk with me? That's like the traditional prospecting script that you use. And it's no wonder that when you're talking to people with that kind of script, most of them are going to tell you no. Right? Most of them are going to say no. And that's why as a salesperson, that's why as an entrepreneur, that's why most people don't want to do that prospecting, because they got to go through all the no's. They got to go through that same script, which they're uncomfortable saying, just like the person hearing it is uncomfortable hearing it. They have to go through all the no's to get to the yeses. And the problem is that oftentimes there are other things that are more exciting, like Netflix, like Tiger King, or whatever that you want to watch or do, that take you away from the prospecting. But when we came across this whole podcasting, the secret to prospecting is built in within the podcast space. The reason why we think podcasting is the secret to prospecting is because of the approach that we now take when we talk to people. July 13th is going to be our 2-year anniversary for being on the podcast. 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, nobody knew who we were, right? James is, he's a pretty good expert in insurance. Knows who I am. Right? I've been in business for, 15 years. I have a lot of expertise, but nobody knew it. Nobody knew who I was other than, my immediate family. Now, one of the greatest compliments that I get is Hernan's well connected. He knows a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
That is a powerful thing to have.
So one of the really cool things that I remember when since we've been in business together forever, one of your ideas, especially when I came back from the Navy, was the See Us First idea. You created the website www.seeusfirst.com, and your idea with that was basically see us first. If you need something, we got the hookup. We'll tell you where to go. We know people and we have all the connections. We can get you anything that you need. See us first. See us first. See us first. And that's essentially what you've built through all of this. Is we've been able to connect with so many people, so many awesome people, and all different types of services that almost no matter what somebody needs, they could say, hey, ask Hernan. He's really well connected. He probably had somebody who did that on his show.
And it's come to fruition, right? When we first started, but nobody knew who we were. We had a concept of see us first, right? You would essentially, you want to be like the local Google for places for people, but
Right.
nobody really knew who we were. It wasn't until we started podcasting where that started to change. And, when it comes to prospecting, now it's different. Now we actually get a lot of yeses. So
Yep.
let me share something with you guys here. I explained the way you would traditionally ask a prospect for time. The way I do it now is completely different. The way I do it now is I'll go to that same prospect. I'll say, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I see you're doing something fantastic in your business. I see you have an awesome product or service that you're selling. Matter of fact, I think it's so awesome. Would you like to be a guest on my show and tell my audience about that particular product or service? Now they're going to give me not 5 minutes, and I don't even have to buy them coffee. They're going to give me 45 minutes of their time, and I'm going to get to know that person. I'm going to build a relationship with that person. They're going to think of me as somebody who cares about their product or service, their business, who's giving them not only, time to talk about it, but a platform where they can discuss it. That is a much different conversation than, hey, let me buy you a cup of coffee and try to sell you something, and hopefully at the end you give me money and buy. Now, granted, when I establish the relationship on the podcast, they're not really buying anything from me, but that is how relationships start, right? Usually when you do business with people, you do business with people who like, and trust. And because you've been on my show, like, and you trust me. And you may not have bought something
assuming they
from
had a
me
good
yet.
experience.
Yeah.
No, I'm just,
Most
you know what?
did, right?
Actually, pretty much everybody has had a good experience. I think that's why you kind of threw in that thing at the end, the little feedback thing, is because we kept hearing over and over and over again that it's one of the best produced podcasts that people have ever been on. People love our energy, your energy, the way that we get into it, the way that I announce people and give them this whole big spiel, build them up, and then just the questions that you ask. Like, you're so good at getting deep into their story. And for anybody who's sitting here thinking about starting a podcast, you didn't start out that way.
Mm-mm.
Like this is a talent that you've developed over time with 502 episodes later.
Well, it's like anything else, right? Those of you who've been prospecting, maybe you've been cold calling, maybe you've been calling expired listings, maybe you've been calling dentist office, maybe you've been calling whatever it is. If you continue to do it, you're going to get better at it, right? Anything you do on a regular basis, you're going to get better at it. So
skills I've acquired over a very long career.
That's right. The skills that you acquire over a very, very long career, you're gonna improve upon. You're gonna sharpen that knife, and you're gonna get better. That's just the way it's gonna work. So once I've learned that prospecting switch, right? The main reason why that works, why my podcast method to get a guest on the show works, and your method of trying to buy them coffee doesn't, is because when one of the main things that we started off on the show since the very beginning is the number one rule in business for us is to be of service to others.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you come with value at the very beginning, right, you're already making it about them. The show is already about them. You're giving them an opportunity to promote what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're using their name and their product and their service and highlighting it and telling other people how great their stuff is. You've already established that relationship, and that is huge. You're coming with value first. Now, what about the sales side on the backside? Go for it.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
I hope you're insured.
Just want to knock this out real fast here. We got Ham's insurance tip of the day, and I got to update the banner, or you can do it for me. Scheduled personal property. How's that?
Got it.
All right. So Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk really quickly about scheduled personal property. Your homeowner's, renters, or condo insurance policy has limits built in to protect your belongings, stuff like your TV, your furniture, your dishes, basically everything that I'm sending into the esteemed mover's moving truck tomorrow, right? But there are specific limits for certain types of property. Jewelry, for example, is typically covered only up to $1,500. So if you have a really nice wedding ring or engagement ring worth like 15 or 20 grand, or if you're really super fancy, you got like a $10,000 Rolex, the built-in coverage on your homeowners or renters policy will only pay out $1,500 if you lose those items. So there's a big, big difference there. You want to make sure that you cover those things under scheduled personal property. When you schedule those types of property, you make sure that they're covered for the full actual value. So make sure that you cover those items such as jewelry, cameras, firearms, and musical instruments too. So be sure to check with your insurance agent to make sure that you are properly covered. And if you need any help, give Pipeline Insurance a call at 877-928-9994 and follow me on Twitter at InsuranceBroham.
So I was on a show just before this show, the Convention Not show, and Mike, one of the hosts, is a forensics guy that he basically deconstructs and goes back on major accidents and stuff. So he does the forensics on that. I was like, dude, I'm gonna have you on the show. We could talk deep insurance stuff then. So
that'd be cool. Pretty crazy, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So anyways, I wanted to get back to the secrets to prospecting. So now I've showed you, the power of bringing value to the conversation to get that person to be on your show. So you're getting them to be on your show. That's a great thing. How do you make money off of it afterwards? Well, being that we've interviewed 300 people, and now that we are we're living up to the whole see us first, and people know that we are well connected. We've had a lot of different professionals on the show. We have become those people that people come to when they have a question. Maybe they need help finding, a credit repair person or a mortgage person or a real estate agent that they want to work with, or an insurance guy, or, all kinds of different stuff, an interior designer, a stager, all kinds of different people, right? So when they come to us and they ask us for help, we direct them and we make an introduction to the professionals that we work with. And by doing so, we're literally giving the people who have been on our show some more value. We're giving them a referral. That powerful thing that you give somebody is essentially like, a dollar bill in their hand. You're giving them a referral. You're giving them business. And I want you to kind of think about Christmas time in the office, pre-COVID days, of course. You would be in the office and, somebody in your office that you don't really talk to that much walks up to you and says, "Hey, Merry Christmas," and they hand you a gift. Right? If they hand you a gift, oftentimes if you're like me, you think to yourself, damn it, I didn't get you anything. And you feel awkward about it, right?
You ever seen that episode of Big Bang Theory, Sheldon?
Yeah. You broke
Sheldon
the rules.
Yeah. No, why did you get me a gift? Now I have to get you something of equal or value. He gets all mad at Penny for it. Anyway, fun.
Yeah, and Penny was just being nice, right? But that feeling that we have, that reciprocity feeling, is a very powerful emotion. And that's what's going to happen with your business. As you bring people value, you get them a platform where they can be on the show. You promote their stuff. We break up small pieces of content. We put it on social media and we tag them. We're constantly bringing them value. When people ask for services, we then send them referrals. You're going to see really quick that it begins to compound. I'm a big believer in karma. You do the right thing because it's the right thing, and good things will come to you. And that's not to say that bad things don't happen. I'm just saying more often than not, good things tend to come your way when you're a good person and you put out good vibes out there. It's kind of, the whole secret, the whole, Earl Nightingale type stuff, all the power mindset.
Speaking of good vibes, you ready for another interruption?
Oh, of course.
Now I see one listed here, but yep, Haley Collier.
Haley Collier, happy birthday!
Happy birthday. Love Haley. A lot of fun with her. We've had her and Ryan twice on the show, I think. Seen them at multiple events and just really awesome lady. So happy birthday, Haley.
And just a shout out, this is another thing, right? Bringing value. So if you guys ever need title, reach out to Haley and Ryan over there at Tycor Title. Happy birthday, Haley. Free plug. Whoop, whoop. So, but that's the point, right? Is we're constantly putting out things like that. We'll take that clip, we'll repurpose it, we'll send it to Haley's. Here's your happy birthday clip as part of the show. That's the type of stuff that we do on a regular basis. And what happened with us specifically is people began to refer business back to us. Right? Whether you want to call it the whole reciprocity and they feel obligated, or maybe they just realize that, hey, these guys are cool. I like to continue to get to know them and do business with them. They started to send us insurance business. They started to, refer people to be on the show. They started to send us people who are looking to start a podcast. Like all these things started to happen because we continuously are putting out good vibes, putting out good karma, consistently bringing value to other people. And that's really how you start to build a business long term. This is why, we're going to hit that 2-year marker. We've just broken the 500 episode marker and we're just getting started. I don't think I have to drag James onto the show anymore. I don't have to, force him to record anymore. I think he can see the
I was definitely, dude, I was literally like, I texted you almost an hour before the show started because I saw that we didn't have a guest. And I'm over here packing and doing all these things, and like part of me in my head is like, okay, well, if Nan doesn't show up, then we can just skip. And then like as I'm sitting here, it's 3:55 and you're still not on, you still haven't texted me. I'm like, maybe I'll just do a show by myself. That'll be weird. That'll be weird and fun. I don't know what the hell I'll do, but
that would have been a good one. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have popped on in the middle of the show and be like, "Oh, there you are!
Oh, lifesaver!" Woo! I was getting sweaty on that one. I'm like getting nervous just thinking about it.
Well, so speaking of that though, we are doing something else other than Marvel Movie Madness this weekend, right?
We're gonna be planning the Insurance Bro podcast.
That's going to be something a little bit different, right? And so,
yeah,
the Business Bros podcast is
talk.
James is going to be the main part of that show. We're going to switch roles. But the whole idea behind it is, my point in bringing that up is, when we first started, I was dragging James onto this, and now he also sees the power of podcasting and what it's done for our business, what it's done for our lives, really, or the way we communicate, the way we engage with people. It's done such a tremendous thing that we're going to take that same power and we're going to laser focus it into our insurance business. Right now, we've had the Business Bros podcast and it sends referrals, and that's great, and it's doing its thing. But if we were to create a platform directly related to the industry that we want, ideally targeting the people that we want to go after and using that ideal target to generate sponsorships from our insurance carriers, that's a whole different type of podcast, right? That is taking all the lessons that we've learned in 500 episodes of podcasting and really putting them into practice on a new show. Right. And that's what I want to do with you guys. If you're an entrepreneur out there, if you're starting in business, or maybe you have an existing business and you just keep struggling trying to find new clients, you're wondering where the next group of clients is going to come from. You want to network, but you've never really been good at working a room. You're struggling with your marketing budget because you don't know if you should be paying for these mailers or these coasters that are going in restaurants that aren't even open right now. Like all kinds of different stuff that might be going through your mind when it comes to marketing your business. This is why we want you to be part of the power of podcasting. So I'm going to put this banner up here. And on Mondays, I'm going to be putting, I'm doing a training for you guys, and it's about 40 minutes long, but I'm going to show you how you guys can podcast like a pro. I'm going to show you how to create your own show absolutely for free, distribute it all over the place, get your message going. And if you want to level up and be as branded and as professional as the way we do it, I'm going to show you how to do that too. That takes a little bit of a monetary investment on your part. However, I'll show you how to do everything we're doing for the most part absolutely free. I want you to be a success in your business. I want you to experience what we've experienced in this whole podcasting space. And believe me, everybody starts off at episode 1. Everybody starts off with 0 listeners, but with our help, you can really catapult your show. And at the very least, you're going to realize what we realize. It's not about getting to, hundreds of thousands of downloads. It's about really being that circle of influence in your circle, right? In your own sphere. You have a database of clients, you have a circle of influence, you have maybe 100, maybe 200 people on your Facebook page that talk to you on a regular basis. Let them know what it is you do. Start to grow as a business, start to establish your brand, start to be recognized as the expert that you are. Most of you are really good at your industry, right? You may be really good at building a house or, putting drywall up or, fixing cars or whatever it is. You might be the best at what you do, but nobody knows what you do. And that is the problem, right? And I want to show you how you can take advantage of that.
What does podcasting do?
Podcast lets you talk to as many people as you can. Tell them what it is that you do.
I love it. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of that.
We're going to be doing a whole ton of that, dude. And so, we get to take our own advice here. We're going to take our own medicine. We're going to start to work on that Insurance Bro show. And, it's going to be, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. We're going to see what days are available.
I actually don't have that on my quarterly planner yet. So that's something else that we're going to be doing over the 3 days of Marvel Movie Madness. I have some things already in my quarterly planner. The Insurance Bro podcast is not there, but I'm going to add it for sure. So,
today's the end of Q2, right?
Today's the end of Q2. Whew. So tomorrow is the start of Q3. Am I going to be ready for the Insurance Bro podcast start of Q4?
I don't know.
Or should we kick that off for Q1 2021?
I don't know. I have no idea, but we're going to
6 months. That's a long time
to set it up. Yeah, that's a very long time.
Yeah. So
we'll see. We'll see what we come up with this week, but it's going to be a little bit different. And if you're in the insurance space, we're going to make sure that you know who we are, and that you know who Pipeline Insurance is. You know what we offer. You know the different opportunities that are there, and it's just going to be a whole different way of podcasting compared to what we're doing here. And yes, we are still going to be doing the Business Bros show because this is the bread and butter. This is the anchor. This is where we started off. This is the home slice. So we're gonna keep that thing going on.
We're gonna keep this thing going, but just gonna start a little something new, and we're gonna do that. People already think that we're crazy for doing one podcast a day, but you inspired Nick Acosta. He's doing 2 a day now.
He's doing 2 a day. Dude,
yeah.
He's doing
so.
I mean, and that's, more power to you. I mean, if I do have time to do more a day, but it's, it is work and it does take a little bit of effort. And so if you plan it out, if you use a strategy, a fine-tuned way of producing your show and limiting the amount of editing time, post-production time, you will have that capability of doing multiple shows. If you stick to the traditional way of doing podcasting, the way we started off doing podcasting, that's why most people do it once a week or once every other week, because they just don't have a system in place to mass produce. And we found a way to mass produce, and we found a way to mass produce at a high level. And we're going to show you guys. That's what it's about.
And just throwing this out there, I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to do my own Googling. But if anybody has any recommendations for active listening books, you have read, active listening, because that's something that that I've noticed that you've done really well is active listening to all of our guests. And that's why you're able to ask such awesome questions and dive as deep as you do. So
Split the Difference.
Split the Difference.
Really good book.
All right. That one's going on my Audible.
That one's going on the Audible list. And by the way, that's something that we should share. What books we're reading, every once in a while. So Split the Difference was part of my 5 a.m. So in Justice League, right? Shout out to Eric and Mohammed and Ryan. Even Nate has been on the call every once in a while here and there.
Yeah, he
So-
mentioned today on another call we were on that he was reading the pumpkin
The Pumpkin Plan.
plan.
So in the
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
club
club, the 5 a.m. club, we do reading Thursdays because Thursday has an R in it, right? It's our thing, right? It's our thing.
Whatever logic that is.
Whatever
sure.
logic that is, just pick a day, whatever. So anyways, on Thursdays we talk about the book that we're reading, and we had finished up How to Get a Meeting with Anyone. We finished up Split the Difference, and we're currently on The Pumpkin Plan, which is also a great book. If you're an entrepreneur, I suggest you guys check those books out. And I mean, it's like anything else, dude. The more you learn, the better prepared you are, right?
For sure.
So-
Some of the ones that I've read recently, just to throw this out there, The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg, and the other one was Extreme Ownership.
Ooh, James Jocko
Jocko
Wilkins.
Yeah, Jocko Wilkins.
Yeah, that was a good one.
that was really
Extreme
freaking
Ownership
good.
was good. Dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
Yeah.
good, super good.
I love
Anyway,
that guy. Good. Have you heard
good.
that? Have you
No.
heard good?
Uh-uh.
He's got this like 5-minute thing on YouTube, and like his favorite word to tell people is good. Like, you know, what, you didn't get that job? Good. Now you have time to look for something better.
There you
Well,
go.
you got hurt? Good. Now you got time to do whatever else. Like there's
Yep.
always, I mean, his way of saying it is cool, but what he's really saying is find the silver lining in whatever it is that's going on. There's
Sure.
always a positive side. And if you stick to just being that negative person, that negativity is like a cancer. It will grow in you. Find the positive in whatever you can. I'm not saying that the world is all peaches and, you know, peaches and cream. I don't know that same analogy, but so popped into my head.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know,
Milk
I'm not
and
saying
honey?
that. Yeah, milk and honey. You know, birds and bees. I don't know. No. See, it's still wrong thing. Anyways, I'm not saying that the world is the perfect place, but I am saying that where there's problem, there, you know, where there's problems, there's solutions. Where there's failures, there's lessons. You know, where there's mistakes, there's opportunities. And there's two sides to every coin. So just try to keep your mind on the positive, even when it's not easy. Try to find those things. Live a life of gratitude. You can't be, you know, Eric says this all the time because we have what are you grateful for Wednesdays, and you know, you can't have that hate and anger and gratitude in the same line. Like they're, you know, one's got to overcome the other. So if you find yourself in a tough place, pause for a second. Find a couple things that you're grateful for, say them out loud, write them down, put yourself in that positive mindset and keep going. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's program. We'll see you again mañana. And as always, oh, by the way, I did want to make sure that I put this out here. If any of you want to be on our last minute guest list, now you don't get very much notice. So, you know, sometimes we don't
Literally
get the guests,
last minute.
right? Sometimes they're literally last minute, but I'll send out an email if you want to be part of the guest list on the last minute guest list. So, you know, our show books out 8 weeks in advance, but if you're on the last minute guest list, you'll get an email from us. It's a first come, first serve basis when they open up. You usually get like 20 minutes, maybe an hour, sometimes a little bit more, just depends. You know, we have guests that have to reschedule from time to time or whatever it is. So if you guys want to be on that list, you'll, you know, go to businessbros.biz/last minute, get on that list, and hopefully we can get you on the show. All right, guys. Until next time, peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@csfirst.com to schedule a free consultation or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.